Welcome! My name is Joe Strohsnyder, and this is Joe's Computer Museum. Hello, and thanks for everybody who's stopping by to watch me live. I am the worst at scheduling live streams. As you can tell, I scheduled this 10 minutes before I started it. I really should schedule them 24 hours in advance or have them regularly. But as my adult ADHD dictates, I can't think of anything ahead of time. It's either right in front of me or it doesn't exist. I don't have object permanence, apparently. Anyway, to all who are coming by to watch this stream after the fact, thank you as well. Remember to hit like and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that when you stop by or when I do these things, you'll get little notification things so you'll know that I'm doing it, even though YouTube is very bad at telling us these things. Now, one very important thing, if you want to know when I'm doing live streams, you can also become, if you're on the Twitters, you can follow me on the Twitter thing down there, right over there, because I almost always pretty much religiously tweet that out right as I schedule the stream and a little bit ahead of time. So today we're just going to kind of hang out and goof off. Let's say hello real quick to everybody who is in the chat right now. Our participants currently are John Mounts. Hi, John. We got David Croker. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. It's kind of like Strohsnyder. It's one of those names that's hard to pronounce. We got Ken Bynel and Curdy Unlisted. We've got 4 of us hanging out today, and that's okay. So let's go back here and click some buttons. So what is going on in Joe's world? Well, let's talk about what we're going to be doing today. Hey, Javier, just showed up. How you doing, buddy? Javier is my partner in 8-Bit Crime. Joe Williams is here. First off, today we're going to be building a clear Macintosh SE30. I have a Mac SE30. I've got a spare board. I've got a whole bunch of bits and pieces. I actually don't have an SE30. I have an SE that I'm going to use the guts of to build my SE30 clear case. I have a little special, how can I put it, surprise for you later on if we get to that point. I don't know how long this is going to take. Not sure. We'll find out. So that's what we're gonna do today. Little update about what's going on in the Joe's Computer Museum world. First off, PLA filament, polylactic acid filament for 3D printers. I have found, and I'm trying to advertise the absolute crap out of this because I want everybody to know about it. I have found a near perfect color match for platinum Macs and platinum Apple IIs and stuff. It's called ColorFab RIL 7044. They also call it cool silk or warm silk or something like that. I don't know. It's this stuff right here. I have a little color chip of it. It is a perfect, like dead on perfect. It's like so close that you have to be like right on it to see the color difference. I found that filament. I'm telling everybody about it because us in the Mac and Apple community, we need to know about that filament. So it's out there. You can go to colorfab.com, look for RAL 7044, or if you find any filament in RAL 7044, RAL 7044, it's kind of like Pantone. It is a universal color code. So if you find any filament in that color code, it's going to match your Mac. On top of that, Macintosh librarian herself, she's awesome. Go follow her channel. Get a be a patron of her, by the way, and get a little Mackie. Get a little Mackie. She has a better source for some of this color matched filament, she says. And she and I are, well, she's doing the work and I might sell it in my store. I don't know. The plans are we're still figuring it out. But she's finding a better source for this filament that I might be able to stock in my store so that we can get it cheap for people. So if you want to buy it, you would go to my store and buy it. It's not available yet. On filaments, or on 3D printing, also available in the jcm-1.com store. Right there is the backplate for a Color Classic Mystic upgrade. If you have a 3D printer and want to print it yourself, you can download the STL file right from that page and print your own. If you don't, you can order it from me for about $16 plus shipping, and I will print it in perfect color match PLA. So that's what's going on with PLA filament. If you also want to follow our discussion on Tinker Different about this filament, you can go to tinkerdifferent.com in the 3D printing section, and we have a conversation going on there. For all of you who did not know, Javier, who's in the chat, hello, Javier, my buddy. We've got Javier of the Adventures in Retro Computing. We have Rudy of Rudy's Retro Intel. We've got Ron of Ron's Computer Videos, and yours truly have created a little podcast called Retro Repair Roundup, where we talk about fixing old computers. We have guests on, and we take questions from the chat. So if you wanted to check that out, you can do that. Just look for Retro Repair Roundup on YouTube, on the YubTubs, and check us out. We're on every other Sunday. We're kind of aiming for the first and third Sunday of every month. And we're on episode 2 now. Our next episode should be immediately after New Year's. So it should be on the 2nd, I think, is when that's scheduled for. So you can check that out. I want to give a special thanks to our last guest, Chris Torrance of the Assembly Lines podcast, again, here on the YubTubs, because he was super gracious to stop by and chat with us about fixing old computers. So it was cool. Other things going on in my world in relation to the PLA plastic we got. I've been working on my Color Classic Mystic upgrade. Now, this is going to be really cool, and I'm probably going to do a plain video about it at some point just to show it off. I'm not really going into the details of how I did it, just the fact that I did it to, I don't know, stroke my own ego. Basically, I took my Color Classic using a Mystic board that was sent to me from Javier, as I guess you would call it, payment for fixing 8 of his computers recently. Okay, it was only 2 of them, but whatever. Again, thank you, Javier. And combining that with a raw SCSI, combining that with my 3D printed backplate, and combining that with an upgrade to the 68 LC040 or whatever it is, the non-FPU CPU to the FPU CPU in that, and then maxing out the RAM, if I can find any, and maxing out the video RAM, which I already have, and then maxing out, not maxing out, adding in an Apple IIe card to it to make it what I'm calling the Mega Mystic. So it's going to be basically the most upgraded Mystic that I can have, and it's going to be a super fast Mac and an awesome portable Apple IIe, color Apple IIe all at the same time. And I could bring that, in theory, to like Kansas Fest to show it off and do Kansas Festy things with. I don't know. It'll be fun. Been doing a lot of reverse engineering projects for folks. I have the Titan board set for the Apple III that I need to send off to have a copy printed. I have that board down here. I've got one board already reverse engineered, or I should say it's just been copied, that I need to send off to have printed so I can test it. And then I also have another thing over here that I'm just going to cite because it's still kind of a little bit of a secret. It's this thing. Ha-ha! It is a memory board for a Franklin Ace 2000 series that I am reverse engineering that I will have available for folks relatively soon. Got to get that sent off printed so I can build one, so I can send it to somebody who has a Franklin Ace 2000 to test it, because I don't have one. So yeah. So that's what's been going on in Joe's world. Let's take another minute to say hello to everybody in the chat-a-doodles. Let's look at our participants. We've got Garth is here. Hi, Garth. We got Herb is here. MacEffects is here. MacEffects! Mark is here! Hi, Mark. I will just gently say, I hope you're doing okay. We'll put it that way. Stars Manny is here. We've got other people that have been in the chat that kind of sort of took off. Joe was here. I don't know how the participants list works. It tells me that like fewer people are in the chat than are actually here. I don't know how that works exactly. Maybe it only shows me people who have chatted recently, whatever. Anyway, that's fine. Yes, the Franklin Ace is an Apple IIe clone, I think is what it is. Javier has one. The person who sent me this board to clone it has one. And so I will need to, once I finish the board, send it to one of them for testing, and they will tell me what broke or what it killed in their computer, and then I get to fix it. Anthony Zenrick, you've been here for 10 minutes. You don't even see yourself in this. Yeah, I know. Look, so there's like 13, 15 people sitting here in the list, and I go to the participants list, and there's like 8. Like, I don't know. Like, I think it only shows me people who are, when it says participants, I think it only shows people who are actively, who have commented in the X note in the last X number of minutes. So it's hard for me, unless I like scroll back through the list to see who all is in the chat. But yeah. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. TJ Celtic, hello to everybody and anybody who celebrates whatever this time of year, whether it's Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or all the other things. I tend to celebrate what I call Yule Fest, which is Christmas without the religious connotations. So whatever. Yes, John Mounts, 14 watching and only 6 likes. Yes, smash that like button. I stole Bruce's thing. Sorry. So we're gonna get to it. First things first. Before I get into there, I need to check my backup software. It is not backing up right now. If you notice me lagging out a lot, yell at me in the chat over and over and over again until I notice it, because I do have Backblaze running on my workstation, and when it randomly decides to start backing up, it slows my stream down. So let's do the thing. Let's switch cameras. Let me know if my audio goes weird, by the way. Can you still hear me? Because I'm in a relatively loud room, and I've said it before, I have an air handler back here, my furnace, and also right over there, I'm 3D printing a Christmas gift for somebody. So yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm like, look at me. I can't even print my Christmas gifts. I can't even make or buy Christmas gifts on time for people. So you're expecting me to schedule a stream? Haha, lol. Anyway, so here we go. I've got a Mac SE SuperDrive chassis here that we're going to steal the guts from, and then we're going to stick it in this machine. I have never done this before at all. I have no idea how to do it. I'm just going to yank the thing apart and shove it in there and see what happens, because why not? Now, one of my viewers, I'm going to go over to the side here. I might even just move the camera so you can see me walk over there. One of my viewers, I'm going to give you the person's name. That name was Cliff. Yes. One of my viewers named Cliff very graciously in the past sent me the guts to Mac SE. With the exception of Sinister Pisces. Hello, looking forward to this. Me too. With the exception of the power supply to build a Mac SE. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. But there's a few little pieces that were missing in that box. So what's going to happen is I'm going to acquire some other pieces to rebuild this, but use the guts in this for this one, because this thing has been completely recapped. I have recapped the analog board and the power supply in this unit. Full recap. So the guts on this are perfect. Which, I don't want to have to like put parts of an unknown whatever into there, so I didn't want to do that. So we're going to use the known good guts. I also, of course, because this is a Mac SE, not an SE30, I need an SE30 board. Well, would you look at that? If you go back and look at my previous streams / here, let's move that. Streams / videos, you'll recognize this board. This is the board, again, that was very graciously sent to me by Javier Rivera, because the guy like just throws me parts. Javier, you are absolutely freaking awesome. And this is what we're going to use to do the SE30 part of it. This has been fully rebuilt with lots of little trace repairs and stuff done to it to clean it up and make it work. So that is going to go in there. What happened to that PCB you were repairing with the battery that had exploded? Was it beyond repair? Yes. Stars Manny asks. So that was the Apple IIgs battery bombed board. We got about an hour and a half into that. That was a live stream. We got an hour and a half into that, and it was just absolutely annihilated. It was, in my opinion, likely repairable, but it would have taken 16 to 24 hours worth of dedicated work over a couple of weeks. A thing here, a thing here, a thing here, a thing here to get it working. And that would have been a labor of love, not a labor for pain. If it were my own board, I probably would have just done it and just worked on it a little bit here and there. This was a board that was sent to me by a client. And while those who have purchased my services before know that my fees are very fair, they are not $0. And that would have cost a lot of money for me to fix for that gentleman. Rudy, hi Rudy, how you doing? Gosh, we got 3/4 of the Retro Repair Roundtable in the stream today. Maybe Ron will stop by, maybe he won't. I don't know. I'm not sure what his schedule is today. It is Boxing Day here in the United States, so things are weird. As far as timing, people may still be spending time with folks. I don't know. No expectations though. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, that board, it was just destroyed. So I contacted the gentleman. I'm like, hey, we can, Boxing Day. Is it observed in the US? No, I'm calling it that because if I say it, you'll know what I'm talking about. The day after Christmas doesn't have any class to it. So yeah, I contacted the gentleman. I'm like, hey, like I can do this. It's doable. You're not going to want to pay for it. The other option would be like, if you want me to do it, and this is a thing I do, I do offer to people, if you want no time frame whatsoever, and you want me to take 2 years to get it done, like, and just pick on it here and there, I offer that for a greatly reduced fee. I think I offered it to that gentleman. I don't remember. But it takes forever. Like, I will do a trace here, put it to the side, work on something else. I'll be like, oh, I remember, I got to do that board for, and I'll do a little bit more on it and kind of a little bit here and there. Whatever, you know. But when I do that, there's literally no guarantee of either outcome or time frame. So, yeah, long story short, it didn't get fixed. So, back to what we're doing. We're building this box. I lost in Boxing Day by KO. Javier, yes, yes. I'm watching on my phone. The power is out. I'm sorry, Thomas. Yes. Yucks, no power. Yes. So, let's dig into it. Let's just get started. So, do you guys want to see the surprise now, or do you want to see the surprise later? Let me know. Is the 2GS ROM 3 a 4-layer board? That's a good question, probably. And the interior layers are probably power and ground. It's probably just a power plane to reduce noise. You want to see it now. Okay. Retro Tech or Die. Happy holidays. Hello. How are you? Yes, that's the question. Do you want to see, Mike Rojas, hi. Do you want to see the surprise now or later? Now or later? If you show us the surprise now, it won't be a surprise anymore. The hint, no, delayed gratification. The hint is in the There is a very, very small hint in both the comment section or the description of the video and the thumbnail to the video. So does anybody want to make a guess based on those two things? Jamel Tayeb, happy holidays and now please. Yes. Girth Beagle says, pumpkin. You're close. You are close. What could be a pumpkin? What could it be? What is it? Do you know what it is? Can you tell me what it is? What a pumpkin is it? So, again, a lot of people yelling, pumpkin, pumpkin, LED pumpkin. No, not quite. An LED Apple logo. No! Look very closely. What color is the pumpkin? And what color is the JCM logo in the thumbnail? You tell me. Take a look. While you do that, I'm going to take my address label off of this because you guys don't need to see that. Although half of you on the chat know the shipping address. Random people on the internet don't need to do that. Orange! Orange. Now, orange tinted clear case. No. As we can see, my clear case is perfectly clear. An orange tinted case would be very, very cool. The clear case that I have is clear. And again, just like what Javier does, this was a very special gift / payment, however you want to put it, from MacEffects for doing several projects for them. Thomas Armstrong said, orange tube. I wonder. So let's take this box and open it up. Here is the special magical box. What's in the box? Let's see here. Mark is the best, man. Mark is cool. Very well packed, I must say. And this is all going to go over here. Yes, I saved my packing material because I'm cheap as heck. Why throw it away when you can reuse it and send it to somebody else? I haven't paid for packing material for anything I've shipped from my website in years. Okay, and another box. It's double boxed. Yeah, this person knows how to ship stuff. See, eBay. eBay can be a surprise sometimes. This needs to be opened, I believe, in this direction. We will see. What is in the box? Lemon herb, green CRT. Herb. Question. What color is a pumpkin? Answer in the comments. So, cool. Those are two really good shipping boxes, which I will also keep. This is a replacement monitor for an IBM 5155. And if you know what that is, that's orange, or amber as they call it, but damn is it orange. It is so orange, you can see how orange it is on the stream. It's orange. So what I'm making is what I'm calling a Pumpkintosh. Like Adam McGee's Hulkintosh is a green, full green thing where he put the green Apple IIc CRT in there. I'm doing a Pumpkintosh. It's going to be orange. I would love the case to be orange. For yours will be the first amber clear SE case you've ever seen. Yeah. Yeah, I could have done this back in October. That would have been really cool. But as we know, I'm bad at planning things. I don't plan things. It's either it's right in front of my face. Like I have a random idea. Click. I have a random idea. I order the stuff for it and then forgot I even came up with it until stuff arrives on my front porch. and then I do the thing. That glass is really orange. It looks like the vintage glass my aunt sells. Yes. John Mounts, put an orange LED strip in the case. Yes! So here's the idea. I'm probably going to get this built just to build it. What I'm on the lookout for, there are brand new LED strips that are not individual points of light. They are what you call LED cobs. LED cob strip. It's a relatively new type of light that emulates very well in a very flexible thin strip. It emulates, what do you want to call it? What's the term? Neon? It emulates neon or electroluminescent wire, right? It's just a line of color, a perfect line without individual visible dots. So yeah, I would have guessed the 5155 monitor to be much smaller. Nope, it's the same size. It's a 9-inch CRT. It's right in there. Yep. And that's what I want to get, but they're relatively new on the market, and I'm looking for either one that's RGB so that I can then just permanently set it to orange and be done with it, or I'm looking for some that is actually orange. Not a lot of options out there right now. And I had this idea just like randomly out of nowhere. It's like, oh yeah. The idea came to me. I saw an episode a video by Big Clive. If you don't follow Big Clive's electronic shenanigans, where he takes apart things and shows you how crappy they are, do that. But he had a video about that, and like a few days ago, I'm like, that's going in this machine. I don't have time to try to get it during the holidays, but we'll do it later. So let's do the thing. So I don't know the order of operations here, but the upside is I have MacEffects. I've got Mac or Mark in the comments in the chat. So I'm thinking we probably put the tube in first and then the chassis. Yeah, we can put the tube in first. Let's look at it together. This stuff, the power supply goes in next to last, and then the main board down here and all of that stuff. But the tube probably goes first, and then the chassis. Although if we put the chassis in first, I'm not going to be futzing around with big metal chunks of stuff before doing this. Now, I do know there is a modification that will need to be done to this neck board, because one of my Twitter followers, Retro Bits or Retro Viator, Retro something, one of the two of them, I don't know, did this same upgrade but in a regular case, and they ran into an issue where the neck board wires aren't too short or something somehow to fit. I don't know how that works exactly, so we'll have to figure that out. Do you have screws for the tube chassis? Yes, I have screws for everything. All of the screws I need are coming out of this machine right here. They're all there. I'll just reuse those. Shouldn't be a problem. I do tube first. Okay, well, we can do that first, however, whatever. So let's put the logic board up here. We need to get the clear case apart. Okay. Should just pop apart. Aha! Where does the speaker go? I need to remind myself where the speaker goes. It goes right here in the front, so we'll probably want to do that first. Leave the tube till last. Well, I can't do the tube last because it's hard for you guys to see. The tube, let's show you. You see, zoom. The tube is buried behind the analog board here. So the analog board definitely has to be dead last or next to dead last. The question is whether we do the chassis first or the tube first. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Lower chassis first, then tube, then analog board. Yeah. I'm thinking we're going to do the chassis first. So we need to get this thing apart before we do any of this. So I'm going to put the clear case to the side where it's not going to get messed up. By the way, if you've never seen these, his clear case comes with a clear speaker. How nerdy is that crap? I love it. I love it. It's awesome. So let's take this apart. Need to get this out of here. How am I going to do that? I'm going to do my nifty Joe trick of baggies in a bin. Okay, so we're going to take the analog board out. And my 3D print over there is done. I might show that off to you guys. It's pretty neat. Okay, I'm tired of waiting. Low clutch, screwdriver. That is not big enough, or it's too big, I should say. Okay. I have Flimbo's Quest stuck in my head. I don't know why. Oh, just stop. Stop it. Stop. Don't fall off. There we go. My tools are falling off the wall up there. Remember CRT discharge? Yep, I know about that. That's not going to be an issue. Okay. Now, if you can't, it might be a little bit difficult for you to see at this angle, but I actually color-coded these screws so with a marker, so I know where they go back in the configuration. I also marked this with a J because I've used this set before to diagnose other people's stuff. And that's what this is going to turn into. It's going to be a diagnostics case. So if you send me your SE30 stuff or your SE stuff, I can use my setup for diagnostics. What will you do with the old case? I already told you. I just literally said that. The stream has dropped out a few times here. Okay, that's YouTube. YouTube's been doing stuff. I'm looking at my stream quality, and it's perfect right now. YouTube has just been doing weird things lately. Just doing the... You guys can't see me. There we go. Okay. Lucas Notch, hey there. I watched a bunch of YouTuber streams this morning, and I can confirm this. Yeah, it's YouTube is just doing some weird things lately. Okay, take this out. I do need to discharge the tube first before I do that, because I have to disconnect the nipple. Sorry, had to say the word. Okay, so this goes here. This has not been on in months, so it should be relatively discharged, but you still need to discharge it every time because this tube is a gigantic capacitor and will actually absorb static from the air and recharge itself. I learned that the hard way. Discharged. Put the discharge tool over there because I might need it again. So how does this come apart? It squeezes together like this. Probably need a pair of pliers to do it. There we are. I'm going to turn this printer off because it's making noise and it's bothering me. Itchy spot. Okay. Need to disconnect this board here. Disconnect this here. This screw has to come out to let go of the ground line. rid of this extension doodle. So you can tell I've had this thing set up for diagnostics for people. I've got a whole bunch of extension cables and stuff on there. If you changed resolution, fixed it. No. Nope. My stream has given Joe an afro. Lol. Yeah, different people are getting different. Yeah, YouTube is just being weird right now. Going to my stream thing. Stream quality. Stream health. Excellent. No drop frames. Yep. Nope. We need to release the power connector, and this should be free. I might have one more thing stuck here somewhere. Nope. That is my recapped analog board, which is really just the high voltage board when you think about it. Oh, I need to put that somewhere. Oh, I don't know. Over there. Sure, why not? Then the power supply comes out. That's going to go over here. Out of the way. Here's the hard drive assembly that has an SCSI 2 SD in it. So, see ya, Garth. Some extra cables and connected doodles in here for diagnostic purposes. Okay. So, need to get this very carefully on its face. It's easier to work on. Need to unscrew a whole bunch of stuff in a whole bunch of spots using the Mac cracker. So basically, we've got the guts out of the electronic guts out of the machine. So now I am removing the metal frame. It's using the T10 hex, whatever it is. This is a, sorry, T15 Torx bit, which is basically the internal old Mac screw thing. I'm also, just for safety, I'm going to ground this tube against itself. There we go. Just ground it across itself to keep itself discharged. Yeah. What does everybody think about a mini PC inside a Mac case that has a bunch of emulators on it? Only if it's a completely dead Mac. This is just me. Only if it's a completely dead Mac that you can't do anything with. Or if you use a clear case. And then maybe spray paint it so people can't see inside it. I'm anti against reusing stuff like that if it doesn't need to be reused. So there's that. There's the frame. We don't need to take the speaker out because we have a new speaker. Now we need to take we don't even need to take that tube out because that tube is staying with that unit, right? Right. So Mr. Tube and front panel just goes away. It's going to go over here somewhere. Right there. Okay. Clear case. Hello, clear case. First things first, Admiral. We need to plug this, put this in here. And I need to wire the speaker wire to it because the speaker wire is not wired. So I need to get this back out. Because we need to salvage our speaker wire for the new speaker. So this is going to go back over here. And we get out the soldering iron, which is already out. There's some stuff around. Little recur-jigger in here. This needs to turn on. That needs to turn on. So we need to desolder speaker wire. Tom, how you doing? Let's prevent the scratches on that tube just for giggles. Soldering iron. So we're removing the speaker wire here. The positive wire is the one without the line. It's backwards, but okay. I don't think it really matters, but whatever. Okay. Speaker wire preserved. Okay. Now we need to put that on here. Putting anything in a TRS-80 would be an improvement. Yeah. Oh, I get it. I do get that. So positive is the one without the thingy. Okay. Just need to kind of get this in there and remelt that solder. Solder, as we say in the United States. S-O-D-D-E-R. That one's in. And then the other wire. There we go. And speaker is connected-doodled. Sweet. Didn't think I'd need the soldering iron for this job, but whatevs. Turn that off. Turn this off. Oh my gosh, Bruce is in the chat. How you doing, Bruce? Brankus Creations is in the house. Stand by. I'm doing a thing in the background. You just hang out for a minute. Don't forget to put your sticker inside the clear case somewhere. What sticker? What sticker? And Bruce, because he asked last time and I forgot to do it, you are now a moderator. So now you can spam my chat with things. Please don't. Okay, so now I need to get this installed in here. Now, in theory, the trick here is to melt-a-doodle the plastic. I wonder, should I, here's the question. Should I melt the plastic to hold it in place like the original, or should I glue it in place? Let me know. Let me know what you think. I tend towards glue because it's a little less permanent. But then again, it's not like I'm ever going to take the speaker out again. But I'm a little bit worried about, because this is clear plastic, if I put the heat to it, it might discolor the plastic, which we'll see from the front, and it might look bad. So everybody's saying hot glue. Getting lots of hot glue, so let's do that. Hey, look, I have a hot glue gun right here on the bench, ready to go. That heating up. While that's heating up, we can take this out of the box because I do know we're going to have to modify this. I need a JCM sticker. Oh, a JCM sticker? Like that? Like that? Or do you mean a sticker that literally just says JCM? I've been thinking about making JCM actual stickers, but I don't know. It's like I would be the only one who uses them. I don't know. clear hot glue. Yeah. My hot glue is not clear, unfortunately. It's close to clear, but not quite. Now this thing comes in a little cage, which I just peeled off accidentally. Every hot glue gun I have ever seen has been black. You have a white one. Actually, it's light blue. It came from the local craft store before they went out of business. So let's see. This stuff, we don't need any of this stuff on here anymore. None of that's going to be on there. Look at how clean that is. It's new in box. This is a new in box, never used amber CRT. Like, how? How is that a thing? It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't crazy expensive either. It was like 150 bucks, something like that. So it comes with all this stuff. It's basically an entire tube. In theory, I can just put I could put a composite signal into this, and it would just it would be a television. But I don't need all of this stuff. All of this stuff's got to come out, right? So I have to disconnect it all. X-ray warning, law. X-ray radiation protection. Yes. Yeah, see the yoke wires here are in weird spots and they need to be extended to connect over to the yoke on that analog board. So we'll have to do whatever. Yep, MacEffects, Tom Barber, exactly. This is exactly what I got. A new old stock IBM 5155 tube. That's basically what it is. Thanks to the folks on Tinker Different on that one. They're the ones who helped me determine that's what I wanted to go for. I don't remember who it was who mentioned that, but it was very helpful. So all of this stuff's got to go. Like this whole board, just we don't need any of it. None of it. The flyback here, we don't need any of that. Although, this might be a cool replacement flyback if you needed a replacement flyback. Question mark. This little clip gets disconnected. This yoke board gets disconnected, or the whatever board. Okay. Just looking at how it comes apart. Does this literally just slide out of there, or is it through the screw there? Savor the peelies. You have to savor the peelies. Ready? 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 Let's savor the peelies together. I'm not going to take it all the way off. I want to protect the screen while I'm working on it, but it's a little bit in the way in a couple spots. Yeah, this should just slide out. I think, though, that the implosion band screw is in the way. I might have to. No, it doesn't look like it. It's just kind of in there. Let's see here. Very carefully take this little springy metal. See if it's, yeah, it just kind of catches on the edge there. Should slide out. There we are. Yep. Very carefully. So here's the trick. This is what's really tricky, is that this clip that holds this metal frame in place is like hooked on the edge of the metal implosion prevention band. And so we have to be super careful with that, because if I touch that wrong, this thing's going to go pop, and it's going to be a bad, bad day. So I need to kind of get it squished so I can clear it. Fold it up, then flatten it. There we go. There we are. That one's free. Same thing down here. Very carefully bend it up, because it's like it's underneath, it's between the tube and the implosion band. It's just like, why? Hold it up, bend it in a little bit. I'm going to come out. Same over here. Super careful with this. Try hard mode engaged. I might just use tin snips and cut the thing off. It might be easier. Sorry about not responding to the chat. I'm just in focus mode. And there goes all my parts on the desk. That's nice. Who keeps tin snips in his shop? I do. And they're too big to fit in there. That's what she said. Let's see, can I just snap this off, I wonder? Aha, there we go. Just snap the tab off, because why not? Yeah, Bruce is correct. You don't need to degauss monochrome monitors because it doesn't have a grid. Monochrome is just straight up whatever you want to call it, phosphor. The degaussing is done on color monitors because it has a metal grid, a metal diffraction grid to help separate the red, green, and blue transmission. It's called shadow mask. Go look it up. But what happens is if that grid becomes slightly magnetized, it can deflect the electrons slightly in one way or another, and you get color banding. Cool. So this is coming apart relatively okay. Sort of, kind of. There we are. Cool. this disconnected? It is not. I do need to discharge the CRT just in case. It probably is completely discharged again, but better safe than stupid. Come on, get under there. You can do it. Okay. Let's get something that's non-conductive so I can part the Red Sea, so to speak. There we go. Oh yeah, I was completely dead. Nothing there to worry about. I need my long pliers for this. There we are. Ooh, goop. Nice. Okay. So in theory, this should free itself from its prison. This side is being belligerent. Stuck on the band. Don't be stuck on the band. Come off. There we go. Yay. And then this connector disconnects, and this connector disconnects, and this entire drive unit is out. And so there we have a drive unit for a CRT. Yep. Where's the red motherboard? It's a good, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Stand by. You mean like that? Yes, I've got one of those. But I want this to be an SE30. So I'm using my SE30 guns. I have enough SE boards to make this an SE from now until next Tuesday. But I want the SE30 because I want the horsepower. Should be done with that. Okay, and we're going to, again, we're going to ground. Oh, stop it. Go up here. Do it. We're going to ground this to itself so it doesn't accumulate a charge while we're dealing with it. Cool. So that is up. Awesome. Now, we've got to deal with a couple things before we proceed. First off, we've got to hot glue this guy in place. Super simple. Just a couple corners is fine. All right, that's in place. We're done with the hot glue. Unplug that and let it cool down. I'm done with that for now. This can go over here. I'm done with this. Seriously, folks, get in the habit of keeping your bench clean as you work. You'll thank me later. So, next is we need to get this tube in here. Before I do that, I need to do a quick test fit because I have to see if this neck board requires a little prestidigitation. So it's going to live like this. Yeah. And it's just a little bit short. Yeah. And I also have to figure out now the yoke. Here's the trick. I can take the yoke off this and put on the yoke from the other CRT so I don't have to figure out what the wiring is. I think that's what I have to do. I'm looking that up. Let's see. I don't know exactly how to do that. Yes, that's what you have to do. That's what Bruce says. Great. If Bruce says it, then that's what we're doing. Because Bruce knows so many more things than I do. I have learned so much from Bruce over the years. This strip needs to be tightened slightly. Just ever so slightly as well. So I need to get this yoke off. I have to figure out how to get this yoke off. That comes off by undoing this. So there's the yoke removed. And then we need to get the yoke off the other monitor. That way all the wires are in the right spots. Need to adjust the yoke position while the computer is on. Tricky stuff. I'm not worried about that. Okay. Here is this yoke. This has to come out. No, this one undoes right here. With a plus, excuse me. Dusty. This undoes right here. Excuse me. And very carefully to get this separated. Yes, here's another thing too. Oh, well, I have it sort of upside down. Yes, the pins are rotated differently. Oh, pokey tool. Come here, pokey tool. Right here. This right here is being all stuck and belligerent. Don't be stuck and belligerent. Don't do that. Unstick. There's one little plastic tang here that is just deciding it doesn't want to release itself from its glassy prison. It's actually kind of stuck into the tape a little bit, so I'm trying to free that. So that looks like it's mostly free. There we are. Cool. So that's oriented in that direction. And for safekeeping, this is just going to kind of go right on there like that. Okay. You go over here, out of the way. We are done with you. In theory, that just goes on there right like that. And then we'll have to do some adjustment to it while it's on, I'm told, but we'll figure that out. Probably not on this stream because that'll probably take me hours to futz around with, and I'm not good under pressure. But we're just going to tighten that on there a little bit so it doesn't really move around on me. There we go. Cool. So now this goes in here. Yeah, the coil is not shocky. Yeah, the yoke is a relatively low voltage. The yoke is not the problem. It's this part right here that comes off the flyback. That's like 12,000 volts. That will knock you across the room. Bad day for you. You might want to use white cloth tape around the neck like the other CRT. Yeah, maybe. Yes. Oscilloscopes and TVs use the exact same. Hey, geek with social skills, how you doing? They use the exact same concept, except what happens is basically the oscilloscope is a vector monitor. So instead of having a flyback driver system where it's like line like that, and then it has a return pulse to bring it up back to the corner to do it again, it can literally just, it pushes the signal wherever it wants to go. Yeah, the yoke is electromagnetic. It runs at something like 12 volts. It's not, the yoke is not a big deal. You just leave it loose, and if you're very careful, you can also just wear thick rubber gloves. It helps too. You can just turn it. You can move it forward and backward, up and down a little bit, and it's fine. White cloth tape. Well, the problem with that is I don't have white cloth tape. So now we need to get this in here, right? Yes, we wanted to do this first. Now this band, this outer band on this is a little loose, so I'm going to tighten it slightly so it doesn't wobble. This outer ground band is kind of loose on here. It just moves around. So that needs to be tightened slightly. Not a lot. If I can. Needs more tightening, in my opinion. Doesn't really want to tighten anymore for me. There we go. One pair of pliers for this side because it's a nut. One pair of pliers for this side because it's a nut head. But it's too shallow to fit my nut driver. Nut driver. You can't see what I'm doing. I'm just tightening down this ground strap a little bit. It's just kind of flopping around in the wind. Still loose. It's still bothering the crap out of me. Don't like that. I can just get on this. There we go. It's on there nice and tight. Good. But not too tight. You tighten it too much, you'll break the glass in your face. And that'll be bad. No breakage, please. Cool. Now, tube. I need to remove the peelies now because it'll be in the way. Savor the peelies. this goes in there right like that. Give or take a little bit. Looks pretty close. I think I can work with that. That's the wrong screwdriver for that. I need the Mac cracker. Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at chat. It's only the ground that hurts when you are the ground, yes. Imploding CRTs are great content, though. Yeah, no. Adam G, hi! Adam McGee, since you just got in here, and anybody else who just got in the stream, we're doing an SE30 clear case build. But on top of that, we're putting in an amber CRT. Okay. Now we're leaving this one undone because that's where a ground lug goes. I move this there. Cool. Now let's look at the fit. Look at that! Whoa! Okay. Cool. So now we got to put this in here. Change my view a little bit. Maybe you guys can see a little bit better what I'm doing. I change the angle. Is that a better angle for you guys to see me? So let's do this. This goes in here. Now, I think this goes up through here and then back through there. I don't remember. Where does the speaker wire go? How does it thread through? Does it thread through over here? I don't remember. Cool. That's pretty straightforward. Yeah, it goes right there. Okay. And that cracker is not quite long enough to do this properly. So we're going to have to do it improperly. And one more screw. I think I'm missing a mount screw. I'm missing a couple of mount screws somewhere. How did that happen? Interesting. So I'm missing a whole bunch of my screws. That's nice. Anybody want to roll back through the backlog of the video and tell me where I put my screws? probably the ones for the CRT I'm missing. Not in there. Not in there. Not there. Ah! Aha! I found them. I have to take the screws out of the other CRT. CRT! CRT! I need these screws. Get all this stuff out of the way again. This is a reboxing day for the SC30. Yes! Did it. Rudy, if you did it, this stream would be 6. Oh, come on. Don't undersell yourself. Was that the thing you knocked over? I don't know. The cup of screws? No. Yep, Tom is right. Yep, you got it. Okay, so now I got these screws. Move this back over here. Put these screws in here. One more that goes there, and then the final one goes up here, but we don't install that yet because that's where the ground screw goes. Cool. That is in all the way. Okay, so now we can actually set it up right and get an idea what it looks like. Cool. Okay. So next we need to do a little bit of test fitment to see how I have to deal with this neck board. I think all I have to do is cut the wires, lengthen them, and put the wires back on. Because this goes in here like this, generally speaking, and then the neck board goes on a different orientation in this, on this tube. It goes in like that way. It goes in upside down. I guess in theory I could turn the whole tube upside down. Could I do that? I don't think it matters. I could put the whole tube upside down. I'm not sure if that matters. I don't know. Yeah, because the connection is oriented a different direction. Yeah, but if I put the tube upside down, then what's going to happen is it's not going to match where the yoke goes. Well, we'll just, I'll do what I saw other people do, and we're going to simply extend the neck board wires. We're just going to do that, because why not? It's easy enough to do. Easy job. Just need to cut and extend a doodle those. Put that over there for now. I need some wire for that. stand by. I'm looking for some donor wire for this job because I need nice thick wires. I would use, wires from a power supply like this, but the only one I have is this, and I use this for power supply extension for doing testing. Let me look around. Stand by. As I've stated before, I have absolutely no plan other than to just work on this. So I'm just kind of rolling with it. Let's see. That might be thick enough. That's definitely thick enough. That's definitely thick enough. Let's see what we can use among all these wires here. First things first. That goes on in this direction. Completely upside down. Which means I've got I don't need much, like 4 inches maybe? That's what she said. Let's see. Now the yoke is not the problem because it's in this original orientation. The flyback clip is not the problem. Flyback clip is long enough. It's the neck board that's the issue. The neck board, the orientation of the filaments and everything on the neck board on this tube are backwards. In theory, I could turn the whole tube around, but then the nipple here would be back here and really hard to get into. So I don't think I want to do that. So I'm just going to leave it this orientation. We're just going to cut the wires and extend them. Yeah. So if we do that, how much wire do I need? Not that I really need to save wire. I just don't want a lot of extra wire floating around inside the machine here. That kind of goes in that orientation in a weird angle. Okay. And I need approximately, it goes down there. So, yeah. Stand by, I'm just looking at it. That's got to, yeah. So I need, what, 8 inches? 8 inches of work. The 4 wires on the tube don't need to be extended. It's already on the correct orientation. Yeah. So let's do that. Let's switch-a-doodle some angles so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Playing with the white balance so it's not so yucky. There you go. So we just need to cut these wires, extend them, and do the thing. To do that, I'm going to need my heat gun. And we need to turn that up to about 200 or so. I need that stuff. Shrink wrap. Heat shrink tubing is what I meant to say. Put my glue gun away because I don't believe I'll need that again. It goes underneath here. Okay. Wires. So this is on here upside down. Does that still reach? Technically speaking, the ground wire reaches, but we should probably extend it anyway. Okay, so let's pokey tool. Let's get the little protector doodle out. There. So this ground wire needs to be elongated, so we'll do that one first. I'm actually going to desolder it. I have a text message. Live streaming. We need to get this ground wire off, and it's also kind of yucky at the end, so I'm going to extend a doodle that. So I need my solder. I need my iron on. I will need that to clear out the joint. Goot wick. Clear out the joint. Would it be easier to get it working before you installed the case, or that's not feasible? It is not feasible because the neck board connections are incorrect. They're in the wrong spot. So I can't power it up before I do that. I literally can't connect the neck board. I have to do this off the side of the bench. Stand by. Heat the joint. Pull the wire out. So that goes right there. I'm going to put a little mark on it so I know which one I'm dealing with. That one. Okay. Need a piece of black wire for that. I got some extra right here. About 8 inches long should work. This one really doesn't need to be that much longer, but we'll do it anyway. Okay. So this is about that gauge of wire, about 20. Yep. Okay. This is old leftover wire from a ceiling fan. That would connect there, then that goes to there, or that would connect there. It doesn't really matter. You just shorten that wire up a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna tin this wire. I'm going to tin the end of this, which I'm going to strip that a little bit, just to give it a little extra connect space. You can take solder whenever you want, buddy. Any day now. Any day now. There we go. Helping hands. Let's turn my fan on. So that one goes there. That one goes there. Those go together-ish, kind of like that. I can get them to go together. solder those wires together. Solder together. 3D printer under $1,000. Anyone under $1,000? Yes. Ender Creality Ender 3V2, I think, is the newest one. S1? Is it it's the S1 is the newest one. Yes. Yep. Huh? Yep. That'd be the one I would suggest. Heat shrink tubing. Heat shrink tubing. That on there. Kind of in the middle. All right. Now this needs to go on that board. First things first, we tin the lead so it doesn't get all frayed when you put it through the via hole. Like that. We clear this via hole out so we can get it through the via hole. Important. Okay. And we put it through the via hole. Solder the crap out of it. There. Ground lug soldered in. Snip off the excess. Done. One down, 8,000 to go. So I'm going to mark the, well, they are already marked. So here's a little trick. I don't have to worry about doing any of the colors on these because these aren't frayed. These are in good shape. So I can literally just cut them off and do them one at a time. We'll be fine. Great, great. So I need a whole bunch of colored wires. I need a blue wire that we need approximately 8 inches of. We will cut that there. We will use that as our reference wire. So blue wire, need another piece of black. Black wire. Oops. Come here, you. Okay. We need a bunch of other wires I don't have colors for. And I do have these, but these are too small. They're too thin. Yeah, those wires are pretty chunky, so we're going to stick with thick, chunky wires. I'm going to use a piece of white wire just to be different. Another piece of white wire because I have one at the right length. It's exactly correct, which means this other piece of black wire is probably also the right length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 wires. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we need another piece. We have another thick piece of wire here that's good. Is that yellow wire good? Yeah, this yellow's thick enough, so we can use yellow. Don't have any green wire other than up there on the like round thingy. Could use some of this purple wire just to be different. I just want different colors because I'm weird. Okay, so what we do is we cut these right in the middle. We extend them. Just do them one at a time, and we won't get our colors wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Strip these wires. Checking the chat. What are people talking about? He needs more heat shrink tubing. He's getting low on supply. Dude, you haven't even seen it yet. You haven't even seen my supply. The Prusa printers are good. They're expensive. Yes. Agreed with Tom Barber. Follow online instructions for building it. The Ender is just, it's inexpensive and it works. I have an older Ender 3 Pro, and other than my print bed itself actually having small divots in it that the auto leveling can't do anything about, so certain parts of my prints have an uneven print. It does a great job. I throw jobs at it. I click go. I go to bed. I come back downstairs in the morning, or in my case, the afternoon, and they're just done. So, yes. Anyway, continuing. Stripping wires. These are my Southwire V-cut strippers, in case anybody wants to know what those are. It has an adjustable stripping capability from 22 gauge all the way up to 10. It's really designed for electricians, but for the things that I do, it works perfectly. You set it, you cut, and you're done. It also has a cutting blade in it for actually just cutting stuff. Yes, Bruce, agreed. Read a lot about common things that can go wrong would be the way I would generally say it. Like, what causes print quality issues? What causes bed sticking issues? What causes curling issues? Delamination issues? All of these different things. What causes filament failure? And if you learn about a lot of that to begin with, you'll have fewer troubles when you actually get going, because then you'll be able to, how can I put it, head them off at the pass before they become problems. When I started doing 3D printing, like is me, and never planning anything, I just jumped in head first, and ran into things like leaving my filament on the spool for a month outside of a sealed bag with silica gel, which would then cause the filament to fail because it got too much moisture in it. Stuff like that. So those are stripped. Now we need to strip these, if I can. I want to strip a little more of that. Stripping wires. Let me see you stripped. Let me see you make decisions without your televisions. Okay. Now I gotta strip all these wires. 1, 2. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Welcome to the wire stripping channel. Nothing but wire stripping all day long. Those wires stripped, those and stripped, those are stripped. Great, 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 great. Next is a whole heck of a lot of pre-tinning leads. Well, I don't want this to move, so that's just going to kind of sit on that. And solder, 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 solder. Tin leads. Hold that. Thank you. Blow it. It is blowing towards me. Not well enough. Go right there. Okay. I'm going to try a little trick. I'm going to put a little flux on these wires first. See if they solder better. They should. A little bit of a snag on that. There. There we go. Okay. Does flux help? Probably. A little bit, sort of, kind of helps. Okay. Okay, those wires done. Now I need to do these wires. Hi, wires. You, go over here. You're kind of in my way at the moment. Just go over there. Okay. These wires aren't stripped enough for my liking. I'm going to strip them a little more. Cool. This community is awesome. Yes, it is, Rudy. And I'm glad that you and Bruce and everybody who are watching right now are a part of that community. Thank you all for watching again. And thank you all for helping Rudy out in his quest to get a 3D printer. Rudy's Retro Intel Part 2, the search for more 3D printing. Okay. Now we need to solder all these things. I'm going to hold on to that with that so it doesn't go anywhere. Just so it doesn't move around on me while I'm trying to do the thing. Casually watching others work on retro tech is just the best. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I used to not be a huge watcher of live streams until I started watching Bruce and Steve, Steve Mac84, Bruce Brankus Creations. And then I'm like, this is awesome. I was just not watching the correct live streams, apparently. So those are all soldered. So now I got to solder these. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Did I drop one? I did. I sure did. Yes, I did. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 wires. 8 wires. Okay, I'll stop now. Whatever. So how are y'all doing this day after Christmas? Or 2 days after Christmas if you live in the future like Bruce? We all get enough to eat. We have enough togetherness with family, or apartness from family if you have weird abusive families and you don't like to be around them. I understand that. Kind of can't really see what I'm doing here, can you? This stream is awesome. It has strippers in it. Okay. Anyway. Just twisting the wire so that solders better and we don't have little frayed ends. Okay. Now we do this 14 times. Heck, Heck no! 18 times! Grabs dollar from purse. Oh, wow. Yeah, we've kind of gone into into PG-13 territory a little bit. Take the solder, please. You can do it. You can do it. Doesn't really like to take the solder until the wire itself gets up to the correct temperature. That's typical. This is why we have the concept of a cold solder joint. If you throw your solder at the joint but don't let both the pad or whatever and the component warm up correctly, you'll melt solder, but it'll just kind of be stuck there. It won't actually be bonding the joint together. It's different from a cracked solder joint. Different phenomenon. Take the solder any day now. You can do it. If you have plumber's paste, soldering ends like that becomes much easier if you dip the end in the paste. I don't have that. I don't. I do have flux. I could just put flux on there. I don't solder wires like this very often, so I don't have a lot of stuff. Was that a Robin Williams reference about golf? Of course it was! Of course it was. So we can do this by putting a little bit of flux on the end of the wire. Similar concept to the plumber's paste. Produces a lot of smoke. In this case, it's not really helping that much because the thing is that the wire has to heat up first. The wire won't take solder until it heats up. I have flux core or rosin core standby. I have a slight winding issue. Just now realizing. That was interesting. My magnet wire that I use for board repair was getting wound around in the reverse direction around my solder spool. That would have been really kind of crappy if I had noticed it, you know, months later. Yeah. Just wrap this around here so it can't get in the way. Great. Yeah. I just put my fingers in in flux. Nice. That's what the isopropyl alcohol is for. So you can't apply solder to cold metal. I mean, you can, but it won't stick usually. Now, see, these wires they're big, fat copper wires, right? And so they're a huge heat sink. So what happens is when you first apply the solder to the wire is sucking all the heat out, and it doesn't come up to the melt temperature of the solder. So the solder touches the surface and immediately solidifies, and then what you got this kind of Leidenfrost effect in reverse, where the very contact surface of the solder to the wire is below the melting point, and so it doesn't actually stick to the wire. So, but you got to keep it in contact for enough of that heat conduction to go through the wire until it's heat sinked all out. It's met its heat capacitance or whatever, and it reaches the temperature so that that solder that's in contact with wire is actually at or above the melting temperature of the solder. And then you'll just see it'll just go, it'll suck right in. It's kind of magical. Flux can help because in this specific case, one, because it gets rid of any oxides that are on the surface. That helps the solder stick better. I'm using flux core solder, so that's usually not a problem. And it also helps wet the solder a little bit and change its surface tension a little bit, so it contacts better. But really, you just got to kind of hold the iron on there, and then once it comes up to temperature, you'll just see the solder go whoop. It'll just suck right into the fibers of the wire, and it's done. So. Two, three, 4, 5. Six. See you, Tom. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. One more wire to do, and then I've got a solder. Let's see, 14 points together. Nice. Great. Just fantastic. Cool. So those are all soldered. Those are all soldered. Those are all soldered. So now we can start putting them together. Pro tip. Put your heat shrink tube on the wire before soldering the wire together. What stage are we at? Yes. So basically, the neck board that comes with the Mac is too short because the orientation of the connections on the back of the tube are wrong. So I have to, when you go to plug this in, they're too short basically. So I have to extend the wires by a little bit so that they're the right length, so it'll go on there. So it will connect a doodle. So let's figure out what size of heat shrink we need. Probably, I'd say that size is probably fine. Yep. Okay. Heat shrink tube. I'll need one on each end, so I need to cut these into pieces. I could just use the whole piece. Yeah, we'll just use the whole piece. Means we need 17 for 14 of them. Different wire colors inside of a clear case. Hey, you know, this is, as is everything in my life, this is completely unplanned. I decided to randomly do it. And of course, I don't have the wires I need. So I used whatever wires I had. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 pieces. 14! You don't like it? Too bad. It's my computer. I'll do what I want. But no, I get it. I understand. It's a thing. If you really want me to, I'll cover the entire wire over with heat shrink, and then you won't even have to see it. You'll never have to worry about it. Hold that there. Yes, I know I need to put the heat shrink tubing on. I'm going to do both pieces at the same time. Loop. One piece of heat shrink. 2 pieces of heat shrink. Blue. Shorten that down a little bit. Wires. Hi, wires. Go over here. Go like back over here, out of my way or something. Okay. Blue. Do this in this orientation. Will that work better for me? It will. Cool. That heat shrink tubing is a little too big. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere, but it's a little too big. So on the next set, we will use slightly smaller diameters. Diameters. Ow. Hot. Hot, hot, hot air, hot, ow. Yep, just a little bit too big. It's on there now. Can't do anything about that one. But we can do things about other ones. That's these. Just need to go down one smidge. I think probably to that. Just a hair bigger. Probably even go down smaller. Yep, I like that one. 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 pieces. 13. Oh, sorry. We'll do this yellow one next because why not? Why not? Oops, sorry, bumped the camera. So cut to about there. Works for me. Works for me. Is that a metric smidge or an imperial smidge? It's a smoot. Look it up. Yes. Solder all the wires to the end you're working on, then apply the heat shrink to the soldered ends, then apply the heat shrink to all the wires before, yeah. All the wires to the end you're working on, then apply the heat shrink to the soldered ends, then apply the heat shrink to all the wires before soldering the other end. I guess. I have a process that's working for me, so I'm not worried about it. That definitely doesn't have enough solder on it. Put some iron in there. Doobie doobie doo, be doobie doobie, do 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 do, do 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 do, do 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 do. Trim. I don't know if you guys can really see what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of like in my own little world. Now, there is a little trick that you have to know. God, there's fluxes on everything. Is that if you're going to be using a connection that is in a high vibration environment, and you're connecting wires together, what you really need to do, I didn't do it here because it's a pain, it's harder to solder. But basically, when you get a wire, you need to, this is just, I'm just exaggerating it, but basically you want to connect your wires together in some sort of fashion like that. Or you want to take the ends of the wire and leave them splayed out and then kind of feed them in together like that, then solder them, because that gives you a much better physical connection, but better mechanical connection. This is a low vibration environment, so you can just tin them, stick them together, put a little bit of extra solder on your iron, just go and just stick it together, because it's just not that crucial in this specific application. Much better fit on that that there. I'll turn my temperature up a little bit on that. Just a little bit. I think it'll do better. Not entirely sure. We'll find out. Wires. Yes, continuing the wires. I don't know, pick one. We'll do purple. Purple will go on red. Why not? Why not? You both do the count from Sesame Street and sing the same doobie doobie doo song when I'm building things. It's uncanny. Ha! I have met my doppelganger. Do you also sing the alphabet sometimes? Like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Like sing the alphabet to the beat of songs. Now that would be really freaky. Because I do that. There we go. Wire. This is the red wire. Red wire, not black wire. And we solder this one. This one's being belligerent, having problems getting the correct angle on it. Stand by. There we are. I also call things belligerent a lot, yes. For some reason today I mangled 2 pins on 2 dip packages, was trying to insert them into sockets. Yes. It's the 18 title melody for me, yeah. Da 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 da. Oh, and hi Justin, by the way. I had to buy Sinatra's album to get it on my head, yeah. Yeah, see, and Angela too, yeah. Only ever heard it in the old beer commercials, and that's where I remember it. That's the first thing I remember it from, and that's why I sing it. It's the penguin in the like the Bud Light commercial or whatever. And I've also been told that my spirit animal is a penguin by people very close to me on more than one person on more than one occasion has told me I'm a penguin, so it just kind of fits for me. Warm enough. Okay. Red is done. What's next? I don't know. Black? Sure. Why not? I think you're a meerkat, Joe. Well, thank you. Joe Stroh-Snyder's greatest hits. Hey, there may be one of those one day. I have several songs actually written. Of course, I've got my theme song called All the Things, which is about how the Apple II is awesome. I've got a parody I've made of Van Halen's Jump that isn't finished yet. Thank you to everybody who gave me sound samples yelling for that song. And I also have several other songs written and somewhat recorded that I just haven't done anything with yet because I'm busy playing around with my old computers instead of doing music. That needs a little bit more trimmage. There we go. That's better. Stop it. Stop. Do the thing correctly, please. You butthead. Stop it. Stop. Sorry, it's moving around on me. It's being stupid. This is going to get clamped in that so it stops flipping moving. Needs more solder on it because it's just not soldering. There we go. Now let's do it. There we are. Air so dry and steady here. I'm going through the Apple II withdrawal. Scared to get near it. I wouldn't be too scared about the Apple II. Have it plugged in and make sure you touch something grounded before you turn it on. You'll be fine. The Apple II, honestly, the Apple II is a friggin' tank. I shorted out the power supply to maximum amperage once and caused the lead to an oscillator crystal to an onboard thing to turn into a light bulb. It literally glowed near white hot, and the machine was fine. It still runs. As a matter of fact, it's this one right here, and it's like, Apple IIs are nearly indestructible. I wouldn't worry about it. Shout at inanimate objects I'm fixing, but I don't think that makes us special. Yeah, we all do that. Never plan to have Meerkat coffee. If you get 10 songs together, we can apply for an ISBN to get you listed on Amazon. Then you can legit be on Spotify. I could also, iTunes also allows you to do that. You can just put up whatever you want on iTunes. Yeah, I've got enough music that I could literally put together an album. I just have to actually produce it. So I've got some of them are written in really old formats from back in the late 90s, early 2000s, from back when I was a teenager. Some of them are okay, but need to be rewritten a little bit. Some of them just don't have lyrics. Also add into the fact that I really don't sing well. And so I have to do multiple takes with lots of overdubbing to make my voice sound well. And it has nothing to do with auto-tune or anything. I can just auto-tune myself, and so my pitch will be good, but my voice I don't have a singing voice. So, that's just the way the thing is. I didn't need to do that ahead of time, but I did. That's fun. So this is the black one, which is the black one. That one. Yeah. So we need to cut off our excess, which is about at that little knuckle right there. A little bit too much, but I'll live with that. And then solder it. If you listen to some, go back and watch some of my videos. I don't know. He never stopped Bob Dylan. Yeah, but Bob Dylan has a Nobel Prize for literature because his lyrics are actually good. So, yeah. I should send you some spools of various color wire. Hey, I'm always taking donations for the museum. If it's a true donation and the value is, and it's something that you don't really need anymore, or you just want to give me stuff, sure, fine. If it's a donation but it has high value to you for some reason, I do trades or I'll just buy stuff. So yeah, 32 people watching my stream. Oh my gosh, I just now realized that. That's crazy. Yep, plug in the Apple II, touch the power case, you're static free. Exactly. Anyway, I was going to say, if you go back and watch some of my videos that have lots of long sections of me doing work in the background, at double speed or quadruple speed, a lot of times I'll put music in there. Almost all of that music is my music that I wrote. I have songs like Replay, which I actually have lyrics for. Song called Sands of Time that I did, that I have lyrics for. So yeah. Joe's music was brought to you by the letter J and the number 32. Yes. Anyway, back to what we were doing. There we go. Pink shrink tubing to the rescue. Good. What's next? I don't know. We'll do orange. No, we'll do brown. I'll do brown next because why not? That's actually a pretty good fit already. Is there a list of donation bits you're looking for? Is it just hardware and tools, or also boxes, manuals, and software? I spend a lot of time at estate sales. So thank you very much for considering that. Like, here's the thing. As is evidenced by the fact that I scheduled this stream 5 minutes before I started it, and the fact that I was not prepared at all for this, any of this, I don't plan ahead. Not because I choose not to, it's because I have actual executive function problems. I have a little bit of ADHD. It is nearly impossible for me to plan ahead. Planning is not something that my frontal lobe does. I have no executive function. Like if I see something in front of me, I can do it, but after it's out of my vision, it's gone. So for me to have suggestions of anything that I might want donated to my my museum, I don't know. I tend to love, as is evidenced by my 8-bits are all you need. I love old 8-bit machines. Meanwhile, back at the outhouse, things are filling up. Haha, you're funny. So I don't know. Spools of wire, like stranded wire like this, I don't use it that often. I don't really need that. Tools, I have pretty much all the tools that I would need right now. You know, I've got a desoldering gun, a soldering station, an air station. I've got my you can kind of see it there in the there. I've got the microscope now. We look up on my tool bench. I can actually show you. Like I've got all the things, right? I've got spools of 30 gauge wire wrap wire and screwdrivers and all of that stuff and test leads and a multimeter. I've got all my pliers. I've got tools out the yin-yang. Tools is not the problem. What I really enjoy is having old machines to work on. So there are the two ways that you fulfill that goal for me, if you're one of those that wants to just help me out. One is if you have something broken and you don't know how to fix it, send it to me. I'll fix it. I do charge to fix it. However, if it's one of those really cool things that is like a one-off type of thing, and you want it to be featured on the channel, I can work out a pretty good cost reduction if we fix it on stream, right? Or we fix it live or whatever. Because I'm really about fixing and keeping these old machines working and less about exhibition of existing stuff. I'm really about the machine itself. Not a lot about a lot of the extra peripherals and accessories. Those I find boring. It's like, I have a printer. Great. What am I going to do with it? I'm not going to use the printer. I'm never going to print anything from the old machine. I know it can print. I don't need to have the printer to know it can do that. It's just how I am. Are you looking for any specific types of RAM? I've realized some of those are hard to find. I have plenty of the types of RAM that I need for most stuff. I have plenty 4116s, 4164s, and 41164s. Plenty of RAM. Not a problem. I can find a lot of that. A lot of those chips you can find on eBay, honestly, Jameco, or UT Source, UT Source, not a problem. So I don't like a lot of paper or manuals because they take up a lot of space, and I can just, they're almost all online, right? I'm not a big collector of that. I'm a collector of the metal, of the hardware. So yeah. Machines that I don't have in my collection would be things that I'd like to collect, specifically 8-bit machines. Any of the Commodore series, it's not the Commodore 64 because I don't have that. Anything from across the pond, so like BBC Micros, Amstrads, stuff like that I don't have. I only have one TRS-80. I have a TRS-80 Model 1, so if anybody out there has a Model 2, 3, 4 or anything like that they want to get rid of, I wouldn't mind having one of those. Any things for those machines that allow me to no longer have to use magnetic media. So I know a lot of these machines have specialized cartridges that allow you to, cartridges or connectors or whatever, that allow you to use external mass storage on those devices to let you actually use the machine. those are the kinds of things I like. So, thinking about the ethics of buying this type of stuff at estate sales is like, if I know what a machine is worth, but $100, 100 is being sold for 10. I mean, yeah, but it's at the estate sale. What are you going to do? Just like, I mean, you could tell if you're really worried about the ethics, you can be like, this is worth $100. You're only charging 10. I'll give you 80 for it. I mean, you can give them more money if you want, if you're worried about the ethics about it, right? So, yeah. Don't forget to tip your waitress. Joe doesn't have ADHD. It's just being Joe. Hey, it comes with the package. So anyway. Anyway, moving on. Back to soldering things. So we were doing the brown wire. The brown wire. Can you guys see me? You sort of can. You have a Sinclair Plus 2. Interesting. Javier's got lots of cool stuff. I should know. I have half of it back here on the floor. Oh, man. Javier is really good at what he does. He is a good repair tech guy. So please do not take the fact that I've fixed some of his stuff to mean that he isn't good at fixing stuff. It's just a factor of sometimes you run into problems and you need to punt it to somebody who might have a little more experience handling that specific problem. A great example of that is the SE30 board that I sent to Steve of Mac 84 because it was just kicking my butt. Javier sent it to me because he just wanted it. He wanted low-level trace repair done on it. And then I sent it to Steve because I got stuck and couldn't get to do anything. Steve got it fixed a little bit more and then sent it to Bruce. And right now it's like on like halfway across the continent or something waiting to get to Bruce. Brankus Creations. So yeah, don't feel bad. I mean, if you don't like do the thing, it's not a problem. I'm really not trying to repair shame Javier. He has fixed so many things. The guy is an absolute god at fixing joysticks. Just you need an Apple II joystick fixed or converted, that guy will do it. Or if you need like to know how to retrobrite something properly, Javier is he is literally the expert at it. He knows how to do it correctly every single time without fail, without streaking, damage, or anything. Me, every time I try to retrobrite something, it ends up coming out looking like a Dalmatian. So I don't know. So it's all about, different people are skilled at different capabilities and things, and it's just the way it is. We don't repair shame at Joe's Computer Museum or in our complimentary podcast, Retro Repair Roundup. We don't do that. Everybody's at different places in their lives. So that wire doesn't have enough solder on it. There we go. Let's try that again. Fun fact about Retro Repair Roundup: while we were planning it, we were going to name it Retro Repair Roundtable, but there was already a podcast out there doing that, so we renamed it Roundup. I don't remember which one of us whose idea was to use the word Roundup, but then Javier made that awesome logo, which had Western connotations to it, and then we're like, okay, now we have to wear cowboy hats. A little behind the scenes for you on that. Do the green one next, which we'll do with a black wire, I suppose. I don't know. A white wire. Doesn't really matter. I follow. I'm just now following. I'm not sure who said it earlier about. Best of luck with your SE30 build. Thank you, Geek with Social Skills, Sean. Thank you very much. See you later, dude. Break it till you make it. Yes. Joe's fixed stuff for me, and Joe's a much better person diagnosing. Sometimes another set of eyes makes a difference. It does. It really can. Thank you for the compliment there, Mark. But yeah. Somebody in the chat said earlier, made a comment about doing the heat shrink in a specific way, and I kind of dismissed that. But now that they said that, I know what they meant. I didn't quite pick up on what they were reading. They said basically solder and heat shrink this one in first, then then run all the wires through a larger piece of heat shrink to hold it together, then do the other end. I get that now. That does make more sense. I'm just going to do what Apple did, though, and probably use a zip tie or two. Okay. Now we need to do the other end of the green wire. Cable ties. Yep. Zip ties, baby. I don't know why. Few things are as satisfying as watching heat shrink tubing shrink. It's like one of those so satisfying memes. I should make one of those and create a TikTok account just to put that on there and then make $1 million off TikTok or however that works. I don't know. Yeah. Final wire. Orange. Orange. Fun fact about the word orange. In English, the word orange is literally named after the fruit. Before oranges made their way to the British Isles, there was not a word for that particular color. Didn't exist. Wasn't a thing. Time is it? 5:35 p.m. Jeez. I might been going for 2.5 hours. I might cut this off at about the 3-hour mark, depending on how far we get. Last piece of heat shrink. Where'd it go? Where is it? I miscounted. Oh noes. It's probably on the floor somewhere. Nope. Right about there. Yep. Last piece. Stop moving around. Stop it. Hold you way up there so you can't move as much. There we go. After cutting off the excess from a cable tie, a quick touch with lighter flame to soften the edges may save you from a fun stab and slice later. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep. Or you use flush cuts. Flush cuts, and you cut it so flush so that, like, there's no nub. Yeah. No, I know. I do network cabling sometimes for my job, for my day job. And, oh, the number of times that I've dealt with that. Degaussing color CRTs, technology connections here on YouTube has some videos on how the color CRTs work, including the degaussing and all the guns and things. Yes. Tech Connections, he is awesome. I think he would be an awesome guest for Retro Repair Roundup because he repairs a lot of things that aren't computers and works on a lot of that stuff. So he has a unique viewpoint on such things. Ta-da! Now I'm going to go through every single one of these wires and make sure they're colored correctly on the both ends. So green is green, yes. Black is black, yes. Brown is brown, yes. Orange is orange, yes. Red is red. Blue is blue, and that's the last one left. Yellow is yellow. Good. Those are all correct. So we can do a little zip tie doodles. Let's find the correct size cable ties for such an occasion. These little ones will do. Yes, I have a whole bin up there full of them. Goes in there like that. And I'll do another one at the neck board. Ah! I'm just moving this back so you guys see me working. So that's going to go like this. So this neck board goes on in this direction now, upside down. Like that. And this is going to come down this way. So I kind of want them. Yeah, see, I can zip tie them way up at the top, and that'll be fine. Yeah, it'll work. So I can basically zip tie them however I like. Let's just keep them from flying all over the place and being kind of all unkempt. We'll leave this end a little loose so we've got some flexibility room there to move around. Okay. We'll cut those perfectly flush with flush cuts, and hey, look, no rough edges. Trash. Back into the bin. What would we do without zip ties? Tape, like Neanderthals? I don't know. Cool. So let's go ahead and put our soldering equipment back. I can turn off the soldering station. I can turn off the heat gun. I can turn off my fan. Put it away. Let's see. Sharpie. Cutters. bulk wire bits. Come here, bulk wire bits. You need to go back where you belong. Do it. Do it. Thank you. Okay, this goes down here in this bin. All right, so now we can start assemblage. We might get lucky. We might get this turned on tonight. That would be really... Stop it! Stop falling. That'd be really cool. Clean off all the bits, just so I don't have anything that can like short stuff out. That doesn't bother me. Cool. So, I'm sure you can all see what I'm doing here. I'm going to change the angle to be that way, so I'm a little less in the way of the work. Kind of like that. Cool. So, you get the analog board. This plugs into this connection here. That's going to be the power supply connector. It is. That's the power connector for that. Good. Good. Cool. Wait. You both have all the right tools for the job and have a place each to go, and you know which tool goes to which place. You're less ADHD than me. Yes. Yes. That's actually a coping mechanism that I learned. I've learned. Are you installing that CRT in the same orientation as the original monitor? Where is it from? Thank you, Adam McGee, for asking that question. See, there's my ADHD. I just went off on another thing. So, two things. Mac84. Hi, Steve. How you doing? We are making a Pumpkintosh today. We are putting an amber CRT into a clear case and building an SE30 from scratch. So Tom Leach is like, so here's the thing. I learned that I had ADHD before I was kind of diagnosed with ADHD and have built a large set of coping mechanisms to allow me to function. One of them is as I go, I get in the I just got in the habit of cleaning things as I go and keeping it picked up. That results in me forgetting less things, losing fewer things on my bench, stuff like that. Except for the one time, like a couple weeks ago, where I lost an entire Apple III cover somewhere in a 16-foot by 16-foot room. Figure that one out. Anyway. But yeah, so this goes back together. I believe that the analog board goes in first. That goes on the yoke. Adam McGee, what's the orientation? It's going in the same orientation as before. Same as original. You guys can't really see what I'm doing here. So this kind of sockets in here. Interesting. This thing is in my way. It is. So I have to take that band off and move it. Interesting indeed. Disconnect, do it. Unhook from everything. Move. So this little band right here, this band, which is like the ground band, is in the wrong spot. It's in my way. The board doesn't clear over here. So I have to remove it entirely or something. Probably. It's probably okay because the way the ground lug grounds to the holder strip. So I'm going to just remove this entirely, you know, after I went to all that work of tightening it and getting it on there. Because apparently, like, it's just going to be in my way and I won't be able to do anything with it. So. Just removing this ground strip. I really want to remove the aquadag to have such an amazing appearance, but it's not really a good idea. Yes. Would it be easier to flip the whole thing? Probably. The orientation of the tube doesn't matter, to be honest. I don't believe it matters at all. What matters is the orientation of the yoke. This is not the implosion band. This is just a ground strap, which isn't needed because this just connects right here like that, right? The ground strip just goes through the screw into the corner. Aquadag, good question. Aquadag is this conductive gray stuff right here on the outside of the CRT that acts as the anode for receiving the electrons, basically. For lack of a better way to put it. Afternoonish. Hi, all things BG. How you doing? Yes, the yoke has a right side up, which is why I asked. Yes, the yoke is in there in the correct orientation. I put it in there right back in the same orientation that I took it out of. And in addition, the original tube has the electrode nipple on that side. We'll double check that. Yes. Yep, that is correct. The original CRT is designed the exact same way. The electrode nipple is on the far side, just like it is on this one. Cool. Let us continue. So this is probably... Nope, this will not be in my way from what I'm doing right now. It's fine where it is. Analog board. BRB, okay, Steve. So the aquadag is like a tar or some kind of coating. I had no idea it was functional. I just thought it was paint. Nope. Yep, it's this stuff right here. It's like a kind of a conductive what's the term? Carbon-based paint. Yeah, if you put the yoke in upside down, the whole screen will just be upside down. Okay, there we go. That board is in there. That needs to be fixed. There we go. All right. Board is in. Sweet. What goes next? So we got a whole bunch of screws and stuff we have to deal with. These two down here hold that board in place. I think I've got to put the power supply in first. The power supply kind of has to go in there first. I haven't taken these apart too many times, so my order of operations may be incorrect. That goes in there, and this kind of lives there, and yeah. So we can start putting that together. Leave this clips over that. Where are my blue screws? There they are. We put all the screws in very loosely to begin with, just so everything kind of fits together. And then once ever all the screws are in but loose, then you can tighten them all up. It's always chicken and egg thing for me. The PSU and the analog, but put both board. Yeah, you can kind of sort of like just attach the PSU to the analog board, I guess. Then try to stick the whole thing in. But what happens is you have these weird little angled clearance issues right down by the edge of the tube. And of course, I plugged the power supply. I put the whole thing in without connecting the power supply to the analog board, like a freaking moron. So now I got to take it all apart again. So I can get, yeah. See, it's like you got to disconnect the. Yeah. See, this has got to be out of here for the analog board to come out. Then that comes out. Yes. Power supply. Or else it doesn't clear this little angled metal bed. Mac Tetris with Joe. That screw goes in there. Just hold that power supply in place. I know you guys can't see anything. I'm in your way. I'm sorry. Just keep it from wobbling around. All right, now we can start putting screws in. Stop it. That aligns with that hole right there. Got it. To anybody who's asking, is this screwdriver long enough? No. The answer's no. Will you be able to go back and add the cloth tape to the yoke later? Bob Brown mentioned that the cloth tape has strain release safety properties regarding the glass bits. Maybe. Yeah, I can probably do that. I might have to readjust the yoke again. I'm not too worried about it because the other tube didn't have it. The other tube had absolutely no cloth tape on it at all, so I'm not too worried about it. Got a slight alignment issue. Need to fix that first. Just not too worried about that cloth tape, to be honest. Really doesn't want to do the thing where it goes in. There we go. Any thoughts on making a serial PS2 USB mouse to N64 adapter? Interesting. Well, if we can figure out what protocol the N64 mouse uses, whatever that thing might be, if it's a thing. And we already have like PS2 mouse documented and all that. Is that actually going in? Yeah. Then it's just a factor of having a little chip in between that converts the inputs, outputs, and does the thing. So doable. Of course, the board isn't slotted properly in the bottom. It's anger. Gotta undo the whole thing. Power supply can go in. That's not going to be a problem. Yes, I did. I missed the little notches here. for the bottom of the board. So I got to do that over again. Screws, screws, screws. These back out. There we go. Now it's in the little notchy-notchies. Let's do that again. Let's try it again, shall we? One more time! Yay! And the analog board is in. Cool. Cheap by putting a Raspberry Pi between them and having it do the signal conversion software. Yeah, that's exactly what you would do. Measure twice, put in 27 screws once. Yes. Yeah, Pi would be way... an Arduino would probably be better match, or a PIC microcontroller or anything like that. That data protocol between the two cannot be that high bandwidth requirement, just because of the time frame when the machine came out. Yeah. This is my power adapter for the main board. This is my power adapter for the hard drive. Just go down there. This technically screws into the power supply here. I'm using a screw that I no longer have. So I'm going to pick a random one and use it. Whatever's on the bench. I don't like that one. I had another one on the bench. Ah, there we go. That's a better screw. Question is, will it fit that hole? I don't know. It might. Look at that. Perfect. Little ground clamp connect-a-doodle for this. That goes in there. That goes there. That goes there. This gets dismantled for now. It goes up here because it's in the way. Cool. Now we can start really getting to work. Get this screw installed up here. I just put away the tool I needed. Of course I did. Check out the contrast dial before it's aligned. Contrast dial is fine. Yep. I am very aware of the contrast dial. I've had that problem numerous times. That's in there, nice and good. Okay. So this goes in this funky orientation. Like that. I could probably actually add a zip tie to that. Hold that wire like that. I think I'll do that. Just for the sake of things being nice. Oops. Okay, so that's good. That's in there. This anode clip goes in. Anode clip is in place. Yep. Cool. Okay, so the yoke is on there. Hold on, I'll be right back. Rubber just in case gloves. So when I adjust the yoke, I don't cause any little freak accidents. Put this little cover doodle back on the back of the neck board, if I can. Of course, it's upside down because it's backwards, but that's okay. Here, chair. Goes here. This goes here. There we go. Back of the neck board is protected against oopsies. Cool. All right. So now we put in the logic board? Question mark? Sure. Why not? I just noticed your shirt. Awesome. Those sold somewhere. Yes. Where did I believe that Javier Rivera at 8-Bit Tees sold me this shirt. Figured it was fitting for doing a Mac today. Okay. So I need to put my ROM in there. That's important. Hello, ROM. Where are you? You are nowhere where I expect you to be. Nice. Great. Missing chips already. Here it is. Hey, Rominator from Big Mess of Wires. That's in there. It's doing its wonderful deciding to disconnect thing. All right, hot glue gun's coming back out. I need to glue the ROM chip in place because I don't have those cool little 3D printed clips. Even though I have a 3D printer, it'll take way too long to print them out live on stream anyway. I just don't want this to go anywhere while I'm working on it. So while that's heating up, we will hang out and chat for a minute. YouTube informs me we've only been streaming for 13 minutes. Very efficient work. Feels like hours of accomplishment. Layman's terms, what is the Rominator? Yes, so the Rominator is a replacement ROM that was designed by somebody who is not Steve Chamberlain, a big mess of wires, but then he took it and completely redesigned it. It is a replacement ROM for the Macintosh SE30 and a couple other different machines that replaces the ROM with lots of extra little features. For example, it has a built-in, it's got a built-in copy of System 6.0.8, so you can boot right up to the machine and use it as like an emergency diagnostic machine. Lots of little cool things like that. And so I figured I would get that, so my machine would have the maximum awesomeness available. I also have 128 megabytes of RAM for this machine, for this board. Only 64 of it is installed at the moment. Going back through chat. Isn't that the anti-implosion safety too? No, the anti-implosion safety is this larger metal strip here that's already on there. The anti-implosion, this little thing right here is just a ground strap. I mean, I could, in theory, put it back on there and put it back in the other direction if you really, really want me to. I'm not going to worry about it right now. The tube's already in there. Just going back and looking at people, anybody call me out. He'd be a great cast. Have him on to talk about retro toasters. Yes, that'd be cool. Just a big heat gun and a huge bouquet of various sizes and colors of heat shrink with some mellow trance music. I mean, if you really want multiple colors of heat shrink, I mean, I got them. Submersion is the safest. Yeah, we're talking about retro pricing. Submersion is the safest, but it takes forever. And Javier has really perfected the process of using the paste method. Yeah. Regular water with an ozone generator and a bubble column with a sous vide warmer and a bright UV panels. Yeah. There's a very interesting thing. There's also the entire concept of retro brighting with UV, because UV causes the problem, but it also causes the problem to go away depending on the light. And I can confirm that in my fluorescent lights up here, my Apple IIIs have gotten lighter. They've self-retro brighted just in the light of this room, because the UV that's coming out of these is better for like undoing the nastiness. I don't know. All I can tell you is they've gotten lighter in this room. Is the PSU recapped? Yes, the power supply has already been recapped in this unit. Did a 3-hour series on this one model of Cold War era toaster, and I wanted so much toast afterwards. Toast. Yeah, toast! All right, is this hot enough yet? Not quite there. Yeah, technology connections. His work is absolutely excellent. I love his production value as well. I've been actually doing more live streams here because I think I work better in a live environment. French toast! French toast! Anybody remember that reference? Anyway, Haywood Banks. So, yeah, I've been doing fewer produced videos because I don't think my production value is just as strong as it could be, right? I have a limited amount of space, resources, time, and money to put into produced video. I rather enjoy doing the actual work, and I think that live streams show that better. So when I see someone like Technology Connections or 8-Bit Guy or Action Retro or any of those guys do their their or Macintosh librarian. Oh my gosh, her work is so good. Having these wonderful sets and mood lighting and all of that stuff. I'm like, I'm just here on the bench doing stuff, and we're fixing things. I do kind of Fran Lab style, right? That's how I do it. Toast equals pizza. Oh yeah, toast pizzas. Have you ever had that? You take a piece of toast, and you overdo it just a little bit so it's nice and crunchy, and then you put your sauce on it and some cheese on it and whatever, and then you just take that and you put it in the microwave just enough to melt the cheese, and you got pizza, right? Pizza. That reminds me, I haven't had dinner yet. I'm hungry. So let's get this. Good, the glue is ready. So I just put a little splash of glue in this corner here. Again, this is just to keep the ROM chip from coming out. A little splash in this corner here. Not too much. Bruce, if he's still in the chat, I think he is, has excellent 3D printed clips you can get. I think he might have them on his website that you can print for that to keep their ROM in place. But as I said earlier, I forgot about it until the last minute, and I'm not going to go into the process of trying to print those right now. So, because it would probably take an hour. Cool. So let's get this put back together. This a slide of doodles. I'm going to have to do the weird side slide on this because my ROM chip and everything is a little too tall to do the full slide. So you do that, and you bring it to this clearage point over here, and then slide it in place. Allows you to clear the RAM and all the other things. So that fits in there well. There are other cables I need to put in place, though, like my SCSI cable. And the speaker cable is in the wrong spot. Of course it is. No, it can live there. Yeah, that's fine. Speaker cable's fine. SCSI cable. This goes in here this direction, which means it comes out this way, so it goes in there like that. SCSI cable, power cable goes down through here. This power cable stays up here. I have a blue SCSI ready to go inside the unit. Although, again, with this board, we don't need that. Speaker. Power. You guys can't see what I'm doing. Well, I can't even see what I'm doing. If you've ever put together one of these SE30s, you'll know what I mean. It's tight. It goes in there like that. SCSI cable connects ex post facto. Yeah, that doesn't last. There, that's in place. Okay, flip this up. SCSI cable goes in here very carefully, like so. Just kind of put that over there. Need to do the floppy cable. Where is it? It's not there. I swear I had it out on the bench. Now you know why I put things away, folks, because now I've lost something on the bench. Floppy cable. I no longer need that. These can go over here. This is my long floppy extension cable. That is my SCSI extension cable. That is The S. Yeah, I wanted to put that in there, not this, but that's okay. So we're going to put the SCSI 2-inch D in there. Where is my short floppy cable? Does anybody see it on the bench? Extend all the cables. Yes. Yep. Just like Steve, I've got an ATX cable extender for diagnostics. I've got a super long floppy cable for diagnostics. I've got a SCSI extension, which actually has that on it. So you can plug a SCSI cable into it and extend an existing SCSI cable. That was fun. Where did I get that? I got that out of a electronic LED sign that I had upgraded for a client, and it didn't need all the cables, so I yanked all the ribbon cables out of it just to have extra ribbon cables. And now I have like 20 miles of ribbon cable in a bin down there. I don't know where my floppy cable. I mean, I don't need it right now. Oh, here it is. I told you it was on the bench. I told you. Rubber gloves. Okay. Floppy cable goes in here like that. And the other end of it goes in here like this. Go, flop cable's in place. Again, not that I really need it. And then we're going to put our hard drive in. Our little hard drive emulator. Which kind of goes right there. And then, well, the screw to put it in place is already in there. So we take these screws out. Reaffix it. Come here, you. Swine! Cable in way. SCSI cable is in the way. Awesome. So I'm just getting the screws out of here that hold this in place. I kind of put them back in their original location so I wouldn't lose them. Now that they're out of the way, I can put the drive carriage back in. I can get it slotted in. I'm not sure there's actually space in there for this drive carriage to sit in there. Oh yeah, no, it's in there. It is. I was just doing it wrong. See, this is why you need super long screwdrivers, folks. As you get down into all the places. Okay. That's in place. SCSI cable, which has to flip backwards for this particular installation. Is in place. Sort of do a loop-de-loop there. Cool. This requires a Berg to Molex adapter. No worries. I just restocked those. I have, how many of those I have in stock? A lot, like 10. So need the Berg style connector to go onto the SCSI 2SD. This just conveniently kind of tucks down in there. Cool. In theory, we're ready to go. That's on there. That's on there. That's connected. That's connected. That's connected. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Dinner done and you're back. Welcome back, Rudy. You got back just in time for us to plug it in and see if it makes smoke. Smoke test! Here we go. And so what I do for smoke tests is I use an extra power strip so I don't have to be near it if it catches fire. So this goes here. Power switch on, off. Okay. So we're going to put it here. I need a keyboard and mouse to use it. Chicken. Sorry. Bruce, I don't need any expletives on my stream. Will it flume or vroom? Well, here's to hoping it vrooms. So that goes in there like that. This goes over here. This goes there like that. Now, I am going to put something underneath it just to make sure we're somewhat insulated from any sort of metal bits that might be on the bench. Okay. Keyboard and mouse is plugged in. Machine is all together. Everything's plugged in. Yes. Power supply is off. Need a power cable. That's what this is for. And if the stream ends suddenly, you'll know I tripped the power. I tripped the breaker. This is in the off position. This goes here. We flip that switch on. Actually, I want this kind of plugged in even farther away. Like over here. No, because that's not a grounded outlet. This outlet's grounded. I'll simply deal with it. How's that sound? I'll turn the contrast down. It's in the off position. I turn that away from me slightly. Are we ready? Ha-ha! Well, at least it didn't fry. I have nothing on the screen. Ah! Here we are. Now, of course, the yoke needs a little adjustment, but that's okay. My pots over here need a little bit of adjustment for the difference of the screen, but that's okay. Yay! We got Pumpkintosh, baby. Now we just need to do a little bit of yoke adjustment. Cool. So that the brightness on that is all the way up, and it is barely bright at all. You can barely see it. So we need to do some adjustments, probably to the main board itself, on the cutoff and all of that stuff. So I'm going to move this back a little bit to over here because I need to be on this side to make that adjustment. Might also turn the lights off so you guys can see it better. Yeah, you can see that better. So can I. So I need my adjustment tools. which earlier fell all over the bench, all over the place. I need a pokey tool to get that. I know all you're seeing is my armpit right now. I apologize. I'm digging some tools out of the corner of the bench. All right. Cool. Pumpkintosh. It would smell like pumpkin pie when you computed. So width. That one doesn't work. Which one do we want for that? A big fat hexagonal one. Probably the green one. Nope. How about the white one? One of these is big enough to turn this, I know it. The red one? Stand by, I'm just trying to find the right twisty tool to turn these cores. Got a billion flipping tools here. No idea which one's the right one. I swear it's the white one. I swear it is. It's not the yellow one. Nope. It's not the blue one. It's not the red one. I've adjusted this monitor before. I know one of these tools fits it. Okay. Like none of my tools fit it. Why? What am I missing about this situation? I've adjusted this before. I know I have a tool for it. Fine. Brightness. Well, that one works for that one. There's our brightness adjusted. I need to move the height a little bit. Top to bottom isn't quite correct, but this doesn't have an adjustment for that. Focus is pretty much dead on. Cool. We do have a little bit of a bow here and some of that stuff, and that's probably the purity magnets need to be twisted and all of that magic. Use the force. You're funny. So the up down is pretty good. It's pretty much in the right spot. See, the problem is it's too close to the top, not far enough to the bottom, which there's not an adjustment on this analog board for that, so we'll have to just deal with it. The width is a little too wide. Problem is this tool doesn't adjust that. The width pot, I can't turn it. I don't know why I can't turn it. I think it would use this tool right here. One that's slightly smaller. Yep, I just don't have a tool to change the width of pot. This tool is just ever so slightly not correct. It is nearly, but not quite the right size. I wonder if I can find a bladed tool that will do this. I mean, I can use a metal tool, but I don't want to, because metal tool, I have to go in from the other side if there's room. Is the pot stuck? No, this, what it is this tool is nearly the right size, but it's slightly too large. I don't have any tools that are smaller than this that will actually engage the hex head. So I won't, it's not that it doesn't turn, it's that I can't get the, I mean, you can see me moving it there. I can't get it to actually engage the hex because this tool's too large and my next tool down is too small. That's really what the problem is. Too small all the way. Too small all the way. Too small. Too small, but almost. Too small, but almost. Too small. This one's too large and too small. Or too large and too large. Where's the blue one? Right here. And the blue one's going to be way too small. The blue one's the tiny one. Yep. Yep, none of them engage. The blades of one of these to kind of fit into the corners of the hex, I might be able to get it to turn. It's kind of turning, kind of got it going. There we go. There we are. Cool. So now I just got to fix this little bubble up here. You can see it kind of whoop does that, but I'm not quite sure how to adjust that. Yeah, a metal tool changes the density of the, yep. Okay, I need to kind of, supposed to use a mirror to do this, but I've got my rubber glove on, so I'm okay. Yeah. Wonder if the forward and back of it is affecting that a little bit. Just trying to move it back, the yoke back off the tube a little bit to see if it changes this at all. It doesn't really seem to have made any change. Nope. Yeah, I'll play with that later. But, well, what we can say is we have success. Yes, we do. We got a Pumpkintosh, baby. Yep. Yep, we need to play around this curvature up here and just in right. It's bothering me. 64 megabytes of RAM. Yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Yep. That's awesome. Cool. The yoke needs to come back a little bit. Yes. 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 Use a metal screwdriver wearing a rubber glove. We already fixed that. Needs more RAM. Mike, I could. Are you, Mike, are you hosting that? You're hosting that Unreal Tournament thing tonight, aren't you? Is that tonight? Everybody go check that out. Whole bunch of the Mac Yackers and Mac YouTubers and stuff are going to be on doing a live stream of playing. Yeah, see, if I go back too far, I lose this corner. That's about as good as I can get it right there. Yep, if it's too far back, then I lose that corner entirely. Makes me wonder, is maybe the tube is upside down? If I turn the yoke if I turn the whole tube the other way, maybe it'll center it better? Could be. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. You're going to come and shoot Jay for me. See, here's the thing. So, yeah, Mike's Mac Shack is doing like a huge debauchery stream of playing Unreal Tournament 2004 on a whole bunch of old Macs. One, I don't have a Mac that'll play it, so I'd have to do it on my insanely overpowered Windows PC, which I would probably get a frame rate of something like 8,000. You can center with the little metal tabs on the coil. Thank you, Bruce, for that. Little metal tabs on the coil. Ah, I see what you're talking about. Not the purity magnets up at the front, but at the back of the coil. Yes. You can play on so I'd have to install one on my Windows PC, which means I have to get a copy of it and put it on my Windows PC. I'll be completely honest. I don't like playing 3D games. I don't like playing games. I don't like playing games against people. I don't like losing. So I'll probably be there in the chat watching and having fun with you guys, but I probably won't be playing because it's not my thing. It really is not my thing. So they each move the picture diagonally. There are 2 rings on the back with a metal tab. Okay. Well. Those metal rings I'm going to shut this down because the metal rings have a little glob of goop on them, and I need to get in there with a metal tool to get that goop out of there first. And I don't want to do that while it's on. So I need to get it's a little piece of elastic that's on there that keeps those rings from moving. I need to get in there with a knife to adjust it. Or to get the goop out of there, I should say, so that I can turn them. There we go. Should be able to move those now. Wing! Fine, be that way, Joe. At least join the stream or the voice chat. I will absolutely be there. The voice chat. Is that in the Discord? Did you guys put information in the Discord how to join the voice chat? That's at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. We did it late so that we can like break the rules. I still have Flimbo's quest stuck in my head. I don't know why. Okay, so let's get our little magic pokey tool. That will probably do the job. There you go. We do that downwards a little bit. Sweet. Cool. We do the other one. And get it kind of out of the bow a little bit. Pull the yoke back a little bit. I think that's about as good as we're going to get it, to be honest. I mean, it's pretty good. Those down a little bit more. Change the height, maybe. I might improve the linearity. The height knob is there, and that uses the white one, I think. Yep. Which one did I turn that one with? I don't remember. You got a little bit of jitter. A little bit of jitter in that. Adjust all the things! I don't remember which one I used to adjust that. Pretty sure it was the red one. That was this one. One of those. There we go. Top seems flatter now. Yeah, I've been playing around with it a little bit. I don't think it's ever really going to be perfect. Well, at least not on this stream. Yeah, see, I have to really get down out of that top area to get rid of that bow. And I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I really have to jam the screen way down to do that. Yeah. It's getting good enough that you don't immediately notice it. And that's really kind of what I'm going for. I'm really going to, I just need to take like several hours of just playing and playing and playing and playing and playing and playing with it. You did this way faster than I did with the green CRT. Yeah, well, 4 hours? Okay. If you say so. Oh, man. You may have to adjust the magnets on the yoke more. It took forever to do mine. The little square things that are all the way around that are gooped up with the pink stuff. Yeah. There's a gnat. Where is that gnat? Oh my God, that gnat is gonna die. Where did it even come from? It's winter. Anyway. Cool. So I think I'm gonna call the stream here. I'm really going to do that. We're going to go back to face cam. Yes, those things. Thank you, Adam G. I do appreciate your help on that. So we have, see you, Bruce. I'm just ending now, so that's fine. Enjoy the rest of your day. You put the gnat inside that Performa 550, you jerk. No, but seriously, yeah, this was really fun. We built a Pumpkintosh, an amber CRT clear Mac. Next steps on that, I don't know. Like I said, they make these really cool LED strip lights now that use the cob LED, or what's called the chip on board LED, with lots of, how can I put it, lots of phosphor gel over top the entire strip, which makes it look like a solid line instead of dots. And that would be really cool to line around the edge. Here, we'll switch back. That would be really cool to like line around the edge of the case somehow and just make it glow orange. I have to find orange ones. I have to find a way to tap it into the power supply, blah, 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 blah. But, why not? But that's really what I'm going to do next with it. And then scope cam, not scope cam. And then that'll be that. So we're going to go ahead and call the stream here at about 4 hours in. We built this and it's really cool. It's time for me to go get dinner. It's time for a lot of you to go get dinner too. Probably being 7 p.m. maybe. I don't know. Thanks everybody for stopping by the stream and hanging out with me. I do appreciate that greatly. While you're here, hit that like button, smash it, smash it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Ring the bell so you know when I'm doing these things. It really does help. And with that, we will see you all later. Bye-bye.